Mike.
And this is B-Views.
Yes.
We're talking about Candyman.
Yes.
The new Candyman.
The new sequel to Candyman 1992.
Yes. Candyman 2021 is a sequel to Candyman.
Yes.
Like Halloween is a sequel to Halloween. And people need to just start using numbers because it's fucking dumb and confusing now.
It is. Yeah. So this would be Candyman 4.
This is Candyman 2, I think.
This would be Candyman 4.
This is Candyman 2.
I don't. Whatever. Anyways, we just saw this tonight.
I don't know if it counts as Candyman 2 because I
don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't care.
Either way,
it's a direct sequel to 1992.
I think so.
Yes.
Like I don't know. My understanding was that I think my memory, if my memory is right, 2 is a prequel, and then 3 is.
Sucks.
I saw it 10 years ago and I remember nothing about it.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
Candyman.
Yep.
This movie's awesome. This is one of the best movies I've seen in theaters in the last year.
Yep.
Actually, this is one of the best new movies I've seen in the last year.
Yep.
Probably the best horror movie, for sure, that I've seen in 2021 so far.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
That's better than Conjuring.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that one was more of a murder mystery.
Right.
Man, we should really get around to the Conjuring movies at some point.
We will. We have enough series to cover here.
I know.
We got a lot of series.
Pretty soon we're gonna have to start doing Gen Wars for fucking Conjuring movies.
Oh, good. Yeah, good. Yep.
But man, this movie was really cool. So I don't know how to say the name of the main actor. It's something the second.
Let's just go with Anthony.
Really good.
He's very good. He's very, very good.
He's so good in it, and then Vanessa Williams is back. Mm-hmm. Tony Todd's back for a bit. Well, they're both back for a bit, but this movie does so much with the Candyman lore. It's like, I want to say it doesn't retcon it. It just adds to it. Like, we learn more about what Candyman is and what it represents, and it's kind of amazing.
Right.
It makes me want more movies, which is not super common for these kinds of things.
Sure.
I know Sav has said things like, every time you like a movie, you want a sequel, and it's not true.
Okay.
A lot of movies that I like, I just don't want a sequel, but, like, this is Candyman. You can make a Candyman sequel.
If it's good.
Just don't make it shit. Like,
easier said than done.
Candyman 2 and 3 were direct to DVD or direct to VHS.
Right.
Like, it's...
I mean, the thing is, will you get Jordan Peele for the next one, though? Probably not.
Maybe.
Probably not. Because there was enough social commentary in this one.
Yeah. But they set up so much...
They do. But you'll probably have some...
They set up so much lore that I'd like to see more of it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we don't want fluff and...
Well, no.
Garbage directors.
Bullshit. I'm not saying, like, they should make it, like... It shouldn't be like Friday the 13th Part 2 where it's, like, 10 months apart.
Right.
But, like... But, like, yeah, 2 or 3 years away...
Right.
We can get another Candyman movie.
Sure.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
Like, I'd see another Candyman movie because of this.
Yep.
They've been doing this with a lot of series, and, I mean, they're probably not going to do it with Friday the 13th because of all the constant, eternal legal battles over it.
Yep.
But, like, maybe not Friday the 13th, but maybe Friday the 13th.
Yeah. No.
Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe. Where it's not actually like, we're remaking the first movie. We're rebooting the franchise with a sequel.
Yeah.
Although you probably can't do that with Nightmare because I think Robert Englund's done.
Yeah, Robert Englund retired.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, he's old. Let him rest.
Yeah. 76. Yeah.
Yeah. The man's almost 80.
Yeah.
Let him rest.
Yeah. Yep. Let him rest is right.
Yeah. But like with Candyman, it's perfect, and it was really good. So basically, what this is about is our main character is Anthony McCoy.
Yeah.
Who, the minute they say that, everyone who's seen Candyman is like, and everyone who hasn't seen Candyman is like, oh, that's a name.
Sure. Yeah, that's some guy there.
But everyone who sees Candyman is like, that's the baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Not the baby who was taken in the first one.
Because they have that scene where he's talking to his mom, and his mom like reveals that he was the baby from the story,
right.
And like those girls that were next to Sav in the movie theater were just like,
oh my god!
And we were just like, wow, I really had no idea, huh?
No clue. No. Whenever you get a reaction like that, they have no idea. Yeah.
I'm just shocked.
Yeah. Genuine shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this movie is pretty much Candyman.
It is. Yeah.
Anthony McCoy is a artist.
Yeah.
A painter.
Yeah.
Painting artist. And he's an artist, and he is looking for inspiration. His art basically is about it's about like white on black violence and racial violence, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like unstated, kind of like they showed one of his pieces, and I don't remember exactly what it was because it's been a long night, and I've had to watch Pet Sematary 2019 since then, and now I just kind of hate everything.
Right.
But yeah, that it's very understated, where it's not like violent art or anything, and then everyone's like, all right, yeah, but this is the art from what? This is your art from like several years ago. I want like the new you. I want to see the future.
Right.
So he's kind of in a slump,
right,
like in an art slump. And
by the art guy named Clive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's an art guy named Clive. Is
Yeah.
that him?
What?
Oh wait, Mike, grab that brush.
Why?
Because it's part of the set now.
Oh God.
I'm a dumbass.
Here you go.
There we go.
There. There. That works. Anyways.
Where were we?
We were talking about Clive.
Oh yeah, Clive.
Yep.
Well, he's fucking the intern, and the intern really likes Joy Division, and she keeps making Joy Division jokes, and to the point where at one point he literally says, "We get the point, you like Joy Division."
What is Joy Division?
I think it's a band.
Oh. No idea.
Either way, they're dead.
Yeah, because she says Candyman.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay, so it starts off with Anthony, his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's brother, and his boyfriend.
Yeah.
I think boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all hanging out together, and he's like, "Oh man, I want to tell you a story." And there's some really cool imagery of like paper cutouts pop up. Actually, there's a like flashback at the very beginning of this of a kid. This is Mike, you need to take over really quick.
Wow. So this young boy, he's doing his laundry.
Yeah.
And so...
Past some cops.
Yeah, past some cops who said they were looking for somebody. And so, obviously, the boy goes to do laundry, but then he notices that there's a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
And
good
he sees
sign
a piece
for
of
Candyman movies.
Yeah, he sees a piece of candy, like James Woods in Family Guy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
Well, he doesn't. He's doing his laundry, and then like he hears a clack, and he turns around, and there's a piece of candy on the ground.
Yeah. And then this creepy Sherman guy
comes through.
And then Sherman comes through. And then
they call him Candyman though, because he's got a hook and he gives people candy.
Yeah. But his name is Sherman.
Yeah, his name is Sherman.
Yeah.
And apparently some kids, some white kids showed up with razor blades in their candy.
Yeah. Yep.
And they started looking for him, so that's probably why he's hiding in the walls.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's obviously hiding in the walls, which we've seen.
Oh, it's also 1977.
Yeah. 76.
Is it 76? I thought it said 77, but whatever.
Whatever. You know. It's okay.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but anyways, we get Marwan Ali, and then that's who he turns into, which is amazing in Euphoria.
What?
That's the boy. He turns into the adult.
Oh.
He's in Euphoria, which is an amazing show, and he plays Ali in that.
Never heard of Euphoria.
I told you about it.
Did you? What's it about?
It's about a young girl who becomes addicted to drugs, and then she is trying to deal with the drug addiction with every part of her life. She meets a friend, who she becomes a lesbian, and who tries to kind of meld her life around, trying to get clean.
I don't know if you did tell me this one, but maybe you explained it in a different way last time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very dark show.
Okay.
It's very dark.
Okay.
It came out 2 years ago, but hopefully it'll get picked up. But he is an amazing actor.
Okay.
Amazing.
And he plays the adult version?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because he was really good
He
in
was
this movie.
he is fantastic. And he's also on Fear the Walking Dead as well.
Oh, that's where I'd probably seen him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the trailers that I've seen for that show, because I don't watch it.
Show
Walking
sucks.
Dead shit.
Yeah. First 2 seasons were good. After that,
I didn't watch any of it, because at that point I was like, man, Walking Dead was really cool for like 3 episodes, and then every other part of it kind of sucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I really didn't like... Basically anything after Dale dies sucks, because everyone sucks and I hate them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Dale was the glue.
And I hate most of the characters in it before then anyway, and I was just watching because people told me it's good and I should like it. And I was like, well, maybe I'm just wrong. But then I figured maybe it's just all these people are idiots. And now it seems like everyone hates The Walking Dead, and I was right.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I stopped watching after Glenn. I couldn't take that type of just useless violence.
I mean, Glenn dies in the graphic novel that way, I thought, though.
Well, I mean, that was
not
after.
as graphic as that.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, like in the book, or in the show, it's not as graphic as it is in the book, but...
It's pretty awful.
But that's a thing that comics have been doing for a while now, especially, like, with Alan Moore and some of those other guys, where it's just like... Or not Alan Moore, what the fuck is that guy's name?
Yeah, with the Watchmen?
I don't remember. Yeah, the guy who made Watchmen. Yeah. That's Alan Moore.
Yes.
Yeah. But just mindless violence for the sake of violence.
Absolutely.
That's where you get a lot of stuff like The Boys and The Watchmen.
Sure.
Where it's just, we're going to be super fucking violent with no real reason or purpose to show you this. It's just, it's going to be super violent.
That's what that guy was in. He the main character, Anthony, he played Dr. Manhattan in The Watchmen on the HBO miniseries.
Did he?
Yes.
Huh.
Yep.
I never finished it.
Yep. And he didn't finish that. Very good. It won all the Emmys.
That's fine.
Wow, John. You need to finish your shit.
Shows are too long.
It's 8 episodes.
Too long. That's 8 hours.
Oh my god. Anyways, back to Candyman.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about
Watchmen, right?
We were talking about how basically the cops show up and get Sherman, and then we get have a flash forward.
And the cops beat Sherman to death.
Yes.
Yeah. And then it turns out that the next week more kids end up with razor blades and candy, so it wasn't him.
Yep.
Yeah. And it sucks because that kid screams, and then like he. Okay, well that's not all shown when we at the beginning.
Right.
I'm mixing up flashbacks, but at the beginning they just show him come out of the thing, and then the kid looks at him and screams, and then it just like cuts.
Yep. Cuts to present day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Sherman. And at that point, we're just like, oh, it's Candyman because it's a hook.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually just Sherman.
It is.
It's just Sherman. He likes to give kids candy, and he has a hook for a hand for some reason. It's not like in the later one, we kind of get a better look at the hook on his hand, and it's not actually like a hook. It's like one of those, like the ones that can grab things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like one of those grabbers or whatever the hell.
Like a grabby hook.
Right.
Not like a sharp hook like traditional candy, not like a meat hook. That's what it is.
Right.
Yeah. It's like a hand hook.
Right.
Not a meat hook.
Hand hook. Meat hook. Too many hooks.
Yeah. Too many hooks.
Yep.
Oh, this episode's a mess.
It's a fun one.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Man, people are gonna be pissed.
That's fine.
Fuck them.
Yep. Hate on us. Go ahead.
They're like, no, we're just gonna stop watching your video because you haven't talked about the movie properly yet.
Well, that's what you get when you watch Juicebox.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's right there in the name.
Yeah. Worst produced show on the internet. Remember.
Worst produced show on the internet.
Yep. Yep. And so, going back, we got Anthony. Mm-hmm. He's a painter.
Yeah.
And so, he has a show where he puts his shit in the show, and then, then Clive dies.
Yeah.
The guy who put on the show, he dies.
Yeah.
And then we kind of see... But
wait,
back to that.
We can't just say he dies. We have to talk about how badass the special effects or not necessarily the special effects, but like just the way they decided to do this, to lay this out, because it's amazing. Mm-hmm. So in this movie, you don't see at no point do you see Candyman except like at the very end,
right?
Outside of mirrors,
right?
So like they're in the scene, you see like her getting stabbed, and you don't actually see like it'll show her, and you won't see him behind her, but then there's a mirror in the background, and you see him in the mirror behind her.
Right.
That kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
It is. It is. They use angles very well in this movie.
Like, and he comes up with that really cool art. What would you call it? Like a installation, I guess. Where it's because he does an installation on the history of Candyman, basically.
Oh yes.
Called
yep.
Say My Name, I think.
Yep.
It's called.
Yep.
And it has the little like story next to it, and then like you open it up and you see like you open the mirror up and you see like all of these hyper violent images, and the critics just like, oh, it's just like violence, it's the same kind of like bullshit and blah blah blah, and like that artists, your people, like artists are the reason why the ghettos get gentrified in the first place. And the white critic tells the black man how gentrification works.
Right. And that's a part of the social commentary of the movie.
This movie is filled with social commentary.
Yes.
I would argue that the original kind of it wants to be that, but I don't think 1992 was a time when the audiences were open to that kind of ideas. Because there's a lot of stuff in the first movie where they're just like, yeah, the police don't come out here.
Right. Yeah, because in 92, you got the election.
Yeah.
Then you got the big presidential elections.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, which, that was
Clinton. Yeah. Yeah, beat Bush.
Yeah. Because Bush is a fucking traitor. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, we see his girlfriend also works at that place.
Yes.
But then those two, the Clive and what's-her-face, I think they said her name is Jerrica.
The
intern.
Oh, yeah.
I think he says Jericho, we get it. You like Joy Division.
Uh-huh.
But no, like, he walks out and all of the other people just, like, talk about how his art is bullshit to his face.
Yeah. It's like, wow.
And he's, like, drunk and he says some dumb shit. Like,
as you do.
some shit that sounds kind of funny, but, like,
right.
later on you'll be like, why the fuck did I say that? Like, I could have said something cool.
Right.
Instead, like, he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly what he said, but, because I couldn't really tell too much of what was happening. He was, like, slurring a little bit, so I didn't catch the whole joke, but he said something to Clive about, like, something about fucking your intern, and then, like, afterwards she turned to him and she's like, I use Nova Ring.
Yeah. Right.
Or Nuva Ring.
Yeah, Nuva Ring. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so obviously they're trying to portray that, Clive is a dirtbag.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of acts
like
a dirtbag.
Yeah.
He owns an art gallery. It's a stereotype.
Sure.
Art gallery people are shitty.
Sure. Yeah.
At least I've seen that stereotype everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Wait, what was that movie that we watched?
Oh,
the movie
shit.
night, Velvet.
No, not Velvet Underground. That's a band.
Wasn't it Velvet something?
Blue Velvet? No, that's David Lynch.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
This was not. Something Velvet, and there was one scene that was really cool where, like, I think it was Robo Hobo kills someone, and that's pretty cool. It was about, like, art coming to life and killing people, or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of different.
Remember why. I think Jake Gyllenhaal's in it.
Yeah.
It's a really shitty movie. Don't watch it.
Yeah, but it kind of, just, portrays, the art people as,
it's like
snooty
it's all of, like, your art stereotype people, and that's what's fun about it, but, like, everything else, it doesn't have anything to actually say about it.
Right, it kind of sucks.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Kind of sucks.
And then we're going to be like, it doesn't have anything to say about it, so fuck that movie.
Yeah. So, excuse me. Yeah, but, I mean, yeah. Candyman, it's, so going back to that, going back to Clive, she says, Candyman 5 times.
Yep. And then Clive's dead.
Yeah.
Well, she's dead.
She's
dead.
dead.
Clive gets chased around a little bit and dies.
Yeah, that was cool.
I love anytime, like, you see Candyman just floating around.
Yeah.
Like, there was a part in this where I was just like, oh, fuck. I could see Candyman as, like, a Dead by Daylight character.
Sure.
Just because there's a part where he's, like, doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just, like, floating after people covered with bees. Or, like, with the bees flying around. And I was like, oh, shit, that's cool.
Well, I mean, he did that with Virginia Madsen in the first one.
Well, I guess he does float.
Where he was floating on down,
Yeah.
under the psychiatric.
Yeah, I guess he does.
Yep. Yeah, right. So going back to that, though, we see Anthony gets stung by a bee when he's taking pictures.
Yeah.
Where he kind of gets the inspiration that he really wants to do something with, Cabrini Green and, the lore. Yeah. So he gets stung by a bee, and that's
a bad bee sting.
That's a bad. That travels.
He goes way too long without having that looked at.
Yeah. Bad.
Way too long.
Very bad.
Like, by the time he gets it looked at, he's got shit all over his face.
Yeah. It's almost like he's burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, probably intentional, but whatever.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And he's going through and he's talking to this guy, Burke, who is the kid from the beginning of the movie.
Oh, that's his name, is Burke.
Oh, he calls him something Burke, and I don't remember his
first name. That's right. I couldn't remember his name, Burke.
But it's I think his name is Burke. It's Burke's Laundromat, and he's the guy who runs it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So that's Ollie from Euphoria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And he goes to him and he's like, hey, I just he was like, yeah, I'm just like going around taking pictures or whatever. He runs into him because the cops drive by, and he immediately is just like hiding behind a building, even though he's not doing anything wrong. And the other guy's just like back in my day, they never came around here at all.
Yeah.
And like they talk to each other a bit, and he mentions Candyman
Right.
from something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you remember what he says to bring it up? We're probably getting a little too detailed on it, but whatever.
I'm trying to think.
It's fun, and we haven't had a chance to talk too much about it.
Right.
We had to watch Pet Sematary from 2019.
We did. That really dragged our spirits down. Yeah, because he was talking about something about the history of it, and then he brought up Candyman, how it's a big lore there, and that kind of, springs on.
Yeah.
Anthony's quest.
And he asks, like, who is Candyman? And he's like, oh, it's this guy named Sherman. And he used to hand out candy to the kids.
Right.
And he had a hook for a hand, and like some razor blades popped up in some white kids' candy, and then they started looking for him.
Yeah.
And then they eventually caught him and beat him to death, and then the next week, more razor blades and kids' candy. So they found out that it wasn't him.
Right.
And so his vengeful spirit lives on. If you say Candyman in the mirror, eventually his name disappeared, but all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we go on with the lore.
And we're like, oh, is Candyman different in this? And then later on, Anthony kind of like is freaking out because now shit's happening. And he's like, holy fuck, I think I summoned Candyman. And he goes, well, Candyman isn't the hive. Or, Candyman is the hive, and there are many individuals.
Yep.
And then he lists off all the different Candyman.
He does.
Or all the different Candymen,
Yep.
I guess.
Yep.
And they're like, the first one was Daniel. Fuck, I forgot.
Robichaux?
It's not Robichaux, I don't think.
Something Row.
It's Rowcliffe?
No. It's something, I think it's close to Lake New Orleans.
I didn't think so, but whatever.
Whatever. Which is the original Candyman? Tony Todd.
Yeah, that's a Tony Todd.
Tony Todd.
That's the one that we see the origin story for in Candyman 2.
Yeah. Sure.
Farewell to something.
Sure. Yeah. And then we kind of see, from the art gallery killing on, we kind of see the degradation of Anthony's psyche, body, mental...
Just melting away.
His mental capacities kaput. I think kind of everything is going down for Anthony at this juncture.
At the beginning, this brother tells a story about Candyman, but he tells it different too, because it's we should have mentioned this earlier. This episode's all over the place. It's fine.
That's what happens.
But near that, at that part, he's telling the story, and he's just like, oh, there was this white girl, and she was like, she was a student that was learning about the history of the area, or urban legends and things, and then she found out about Candyman and some stuff, and then she went around, but she lost her mind, and she cut off this this lady's Rottweiler's head, and then like kidnapped her baby, and then killed a bunch of other people, and then like they had this big party with a bonfire, and then she brought the baby as a sacrifice, and everyone beat her and took the baby away, but then she crawled into the fire herself, and like he's just like, oh, that's bullshit, and everything, and then later on he's like on his phone, and he's like, he's like, a Rottweiler, this is bullshit. And later on he's on the phone, and he's like, she really did she really did cut off a Rottweiler's head.
Yeah.
And it kind of creates a little bit of a plot detail for later, because he has no idea that that baby was him.
Yeah.
And he's looking at an article about what was his mom's dog.
Right.
But I guess it could have been an article that didn't mention the name or whatever, because they do that a lot.
Right.
Now, at least. Back in the day, they would be like, this person who lives at this address does this.
Right.
Because there are a lot of newspapers from like the 20s, 30s, and 40s that read articles from history and stuff, and it literally just lists out people's addresses in the newspaper.
That's
where
wild.
Places happened.
Wild.
And it's just like, oh, no wonder like people would just gather at places.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
because
no
fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The newspaper told us things.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, newspaper.
So remember, guys, when you're like, oh, doxing, it's such a 21st century thing. No, they just used to do it normally in the newspaper just all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, real nice.
But anyway, that's that story. There's a lot of cool stuff with like paper shadow puppets in this movie, and I love it.
Yeah.
But
they do a lot of it.
It's cool imagery.
Yeah. I think they use it a little too much, but
they didn't use it too much.
I think they did. I think it. I mean, they just kept showing like.
I think you're talking about the credits, because the whole credits is done with that.
Well, I mean, they kind of showed it a lot too when they said Candyman, 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 like with, I think it's Burke's sister, and then they kind of showed the puppets again. And
Who's Brooke?
Burke.
Oh. His sister? Does he have a sister?
Well, remember that was probably his sister, correct? He was saying he wanted to play with his puppets.
Oh, that was him?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, yeah, because he wanted somebody, to carry on the legend.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, but the puppets were different.
Yeah, it was neat.
It was cool.
Yeah. I thought it was cool. It was neat at the end. Like they showed like all of the different Candymen.
Yeah.
Like the origin stories with their puppets.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. And at the end, it had all of them like lined up. It's cool shit.
Yeah.
I like this movie a lot. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I like this movie better than the original, I think.
I do too.
Yeah. I can't believe that this movie was as good as it is when I was saying it was going to be total dog shit, like that it might be that, and
I didn't know what to expect.
all I saw was that Jordan Peele was producing. I never saw that he was writing. I would have had a lot more faith in this project if I knew he was writing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my defense. Take it or leave it.
Sure.
Whatever. Because producers don't actually have a job normally.
Okay.
It's literally just like, I've given the money for this project.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they do nothing.
Well, it depends on the producer.
Okay.
Sam Raimi seems like he has a tendency to be like a little more involved of a producer. Steven Spielberg will produce something and never even show up on set.
Okay.
So,
okay.
It's kind of depends.
Okay.
That's why, like, when you see a Sam Raimi movie, you see, like, you can actually see a lot of Sam Raimi, or a Sam Raimi produced movie. You can actually see parts that look like Sam Raimi movies.
Right. Okay.
Or, like, James Wan does that, too, where James Wan seems like he's kind of a more hands-on producer.
Right.
But, like, Steven Spielberg, he'll produce something and be like, fuck it, whatever.
Right.
Just, like, fuck off over there.
Right. Okay.
They're like, wow, I heard Steven Spielberg is involved in this. And like, yeah, I guess.
No. Just his
really,
name.
we just put his name on this movie.
Just his name. Yeah. That'll get enough people in their seats.
Yeah. So should we talk about the end at this point?
We gotta talk about the middle. We gotta talk about one of the best scenes in terms of him going to see that critic at her house.
And then telling off that critic because she's all like, oh, your work is amazing and all this stuff. And he's just like, I'm really surprised to hear you say that you like my work. Mm-hmm. And then, like, listed off all of all of the shit that I don't properly remember because it's almost 3 in the morning. And I saw this movie several hours ago, and I've had to watch Pet Sematary in between. So, that being said, I don't remember exactly what was said. It was a lot of
It doesn't matter.
A lot of art and...
Yeah, it's all like fluff.
Well, it was
art
stuff, and then it was
fluff.
social justice stuff, and it was... Everything was kind of mixed together, and I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, and I mean, what he kind of went there for is to kind of, boisterous the Candyman thing again.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's really what he went there for.
What was interesting was the part where he was just like, all right, hey, why don't you go say it?
Mm-hmm.
Do the Candyman game. And then she does.
She does. And that's when he...
Well, he has that scene. Oh, yeah, you're right. That scene where he looks in the mirror and he sees himself as Candyman in the mirror, and he's, like, looking around and...
Yeah, he's looking at his hand. And
his fucked up bee sting hand, which he was peeling at, and that was
disgusting. Disgusting, appalling.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Because at that point, it's like this on his hand. I'm shocked that, like, everyone who sees him isn't like, what the fuck is wrong with your hand?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a normal thing, I guess?
No. It's not. Everyone around him is just an idiot or an asshole.
Yeah. Or just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But, anyways, with the mirror scene,
Yeah.
He's kind of, just kind of, seeing if it's him, and then all of a sudden you hear her, what are you doing, dude?
And it's behind him. And then, like, you see her in the mirror.
Yes.
And you see him looking at her in the mirror, and then in the mirror behind her, you see a door behind her, and you just see Candyman, like, doing this, and then just kind of like,
Yeah.
Not actually like this, but more like this, and then...
Oh, yeah. Another great use of angles.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where, like, if you weren't paying attention, you might have missed it.
Good use of angles.
Yeah. Was very good.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, well, I need to leave because he's all panicked now because he saw himself as Candyman, and then Candyman sneaking around in the background. So he's like, fuck this, I'm out, and like leaves. And then it zooms out because like it shows him like leave out through the thing, and we're looking in through her window, and then it just shows her like smash up against the window and then drag across the window.
Awesome.
And you don't see Candyman at all because it's not through a mirror. You're looking at it through the window.
Awesome scene.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Little digitally, but whatever.
I thought it was awesome. That pan shot where it just keeps...
The shot itself was amazing.
Oh, it was beautiful.
I just wish, like, the kill itself didn't look as digital as it did. But, whatever.
Yeah.
Most people probably wouldn't have noticed it. So... It's my dumb shit, so. Because my criticism of this movie is there aren't enough live bees. There are too many digital bees. All the bees are digital.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad. But whatever.
Yeah. Not enough bees.
Not enough live bees.
No.
You gotta get some more live bees on that set. Put some bees in your mouth.
Yes.
Little.
Who knows? Maybe the guy was allergic to bees.
Oh man, we have a whole thing of bee pollen right there. We could have put on the thing.
Alright.
Damn it, we're dumbasses, huh?
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's alright.
2:48.
Yeah.
High fives.
Yeah. Great.
The cat's... It's so late the cat's asleep.
Yeah. I feel you, cat.
She literally, like, came up here, and she walked around a little, and then she fell asleep.
Anyways, let's talk about the end.
Oh, the end. I love the end.
Yep.
Didn't you say Dead Meat hated the end of this movie? That's bullshit.
Because I left it open.
Oh, fuck that.
I know.
You don't... This isn't a story that can end.
I know.
Based on the way it is. Like, guess what? You can't kill a legend. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Right. Alright, let's talk about...
Because what Candyman is the personification of all of the wrongful violence against black people.
Right. Right, and that's what Burke talks about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he outright says it. And he's like, we, like, black people have become so wronged over time that, like, so wrongfully harmed over time that they've just had to create this thing. Right? It's just Candyman. Mm-hmm. Like, we just can't emotionally deal with that.
Right.
So it's Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is.
Right.
That's what Candyman is. That's why, like, all of Candyman, like they said, one of them was, like, a lynching victim from the 20s. Right. There's the original one, the one from the 70s, which is the police, the mob police beating to death thing. Mm-hmm. Police people killing them. And then we find out that Burke is the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
Burke is trying to create the new Candyman.
Yeah.
With Anthony.
Yeah.
Because Anthony was the baby.
He was.
Which Anthony finds out a little bit before this. Right before he goes to the hospital, which for the first time through the whole fucking movie, after the bee sting is infected up to here, his arm is, like, made of fucking sponge, I guess? Or beehive?
Could be.
Like, anyone who has that thing about holes and,
I don't like
things, like, you're gonna hate that.
No, I did not like it one bit. Nope.
And I thought it was gross, but
awful.
Like,
it was awful.
Mostly because,
very
like, dude, you got holes in your arm.
Yeah.
And you haven't gone to the fucking hospital. Yeah. Like, your hand turned into scales, and you were just like, this is fine, I guess. Like, what the fuck? What did you do? So, they show up, and he's just like, doesn't he, like, Anthony's girlfriend goes to Burke's because she leaves him because he loses his fucking mind.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
well, she thinks he's losing his mind because he's like, no, stay the fuck away from her. She's like, no, it's fake. See, Candyman, like, no, don't. And he's like, smashes all of the fucking mirrors.
Right.
And they have that great scene where she leaves him and goes to her brother's house, and her brother's just like, oh, you can stay here as long as you want. He can't be coming up in here breaking mirrors and shit.
Yeah, that was fun.
And or he's like, but yeah, you can stay here as long as you want, as long as you don't summon Candyman.
Right. Yeah.
And she's like, why the fuck would I do that?
Right, exactly.
But there's a joke earlier because his boyfriend's white, and they're at the installation and his boyfriend's just like, hey, let's try and do it. And he's just like, no, black people don't do that. That's white people shit.
Right.
Or he says, this isn't New Orleans, this is Chicago, and that's white people shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, alright, cool.
Yep.
But at the end, we've got Burke being like, by the way, I already called the cops and said there's a dangerous man with a hook for a hand who's attacking people.
Right.
And then he cuts off Tony's hand and then sticks a meat hook in his hand.
Does.
Pretty brutal stuff.
Oh, it was awful.
It was pretty great.
It was pretty gross. Pretty gross.
Pretty great. And then he puts the jacket on him.
Yep.
And she escapes, and he runs off, and they go into like a side room or something.
Something like that.
And she ends up stabbing him to death with something.
Yeah, she stabbed Burke to death. Yep.
With what? What did she find?
I don't know if it was like a
pen?
No,
maybe it was that pen. Or no, maybe. Well, she stabs him to death with something.
Right. Then she goes off on the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, full on, just make sure he is dead.
Oof.
And then Anthony comes in, and she's like, and he kind of just collapses on her, and she's like on the ground, she's holding him, and then you see the police lights come up, and then they come in, and you just hear gunshots, and then she's just kind of like this, and she's not shot, but Anthony's shot a bunch.
Yep, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they put her in the police car.
Yep.
And he gives her an option between two stories. And it's one of the darkest things I think I've seen in a horror movie.
I don't know the darkest, but
it's a little too dark for right now.
Oh, yeah, it's very social commentary, Jordan Peele.
It was darker than anything in Get Out or or Us.
Yeah.
Or Antebellum, I think.
Never saw that.
Not great.
No, that's why I didn't bother. Anyway,
but his options, the options that he gives are like basically, oh, you were in trouble, and you asked us for help, and he came at us and we shot him, or you were an accomplice, and you told him to attack us, and we shot him, and we arrested you.
Right.
And you go to prison for life. And then she's just like, I'll say whatever you want me to say. Just point the mirror at my face.
Yeah.
And then she says Candyman 5 times, and Anthony shows up and kills all the fucking cops.
All of them. It's badass.
And then, like, all the cops that are outside, and there are gunshots and all sorts of crazy shit, and like all the cops are dying, and the cop in the thing is just like, what the fuck? And then you hear Tony Todd for the first time in the whole movie, and like Tony Todd was he was billed on this movie, like they listed him as returning, and we were like, all right, when is he gonna pop up? And you hear his voice, and I was like, oh, a Tony Todd voiceover, and he just says He says, they will say that I have shed innocent blood, but your blood is not innocent. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, God.
Right.
And when you see Candyman, like, going around and killing everyone, and then you see him walk up to... There are bees fucking everywhere.
A lot of bees.
In this scene.
A lot of CGI.
CGI bees. Yeah. CGI bees. CGI bees. Da-da-da. But, he walks up to the door, and it's Anthony who's Candyman.
Yeah.
And then he walks off, and then the other cop gets out.
Yep.
And then she ends up Anthony comes up and opens the door. And then she gets out after he disappears off somewhere, and the other cop runs off, and she kind of follows over to where they went. And you just see him fucking up that cop, and then he's just covered in bees, and then the bees clear, and it's Tony Todd.
It was awesome.
And it was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Such a good movie. I love this movie so much.
It was very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are a few, I have my few criticisms, which are I want live bees. Yeah. Sorry, I know it's probably not animal safe or whatever. I want live bees. Fuck you. Yep. I don't want.
It could be an allergy. Could be an allergy.
That's fine. Yeah. I still think it would look better with live bees.
Yeah, but what if somebody has an allergy though?
Fuck the allergies.
Oh my god.
Get vaccinated.
Wow.
Make yourself magnetic.
Yes. Okay. Anyways, give it a watch. Go watch it in theaters.
I watch it in theaters.
Yep.
I think it's only in theaters.
It's only in theaters.
Streaming.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So I would definitely recommend giving this a watch. Go see this movie. It's amazing.
Yep.
It's shockingly good.
Mm-hmm.
Better than the original, best Candyman movie that's been released. Hands down.
Yep. Yeah, very good social commentary. I loved it.
Not just social commentary though. I know a lot that would turn off a lot of people. This is a really good horror movie.
It is.
It's just really well done.
Yeah.
And it does. If you're a fan of the Candyman series, you probably don't give a fuck about social commentary anyway. No. I don't see why you would. But and Donna's just gone rogue.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyways, give it a watch.
This movie is just a great horror movie in general, and it deserves a watch for 100%. Sure. I'm gonna get it when it comes out for sure.
Yep. So I may get it. I may as well. Yeah. I usually don't, but I may.
Yeah. Yep. This is really good. Also, don't try and look for the original Candyman on Blu-ray anywhere, because it's fucking sold out everywhere. Because
thanks guys.
There's no proper shipping lanes anywhere. You can get anything anywhere.
God damn it.
Literally, I had ordered something that was in stock 3 months ago from Amazon. still hasn't come in.
Come on.
They're just like, we'll let you know whenever it's in
Oh,
stock
that's nice.
because shit's crazy. And
Ah,
like,
damn
fuck
it.
it. Well, I bought it on clearance.
Okay.
Well, not clearance, but like during Prime Day or whatever.
Okay.
And it was $11. So
Okay.
I'm just like, I'll just wait for it because if I cancel it and try and reorder it, then it'll be $30. So.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But whatever.
Yep.
Everything's sold out everywhere I've looked. I guess I could probably find a used copy on eBay, but you can wait.
Yeah.
I'm sure when this gets a Blu-ray release, we'll be seeing copies of Candyman.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
Just like I'm hoping that they'll start releasing Scream Blu-rays again once Scream 5 Cream. It's 5 Cream.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah, because it's Scream spelt with a 5 instead of an S, so it's 5 Cream.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Donna, don't lick that Godzilla. It's weird.
Yep. Anyway.
Yep.
Give it a watch.
Definitely watch this.
Yep.
I'm Johnny Juicebox.
I'm Mike.
Check out our Twitter and Facebook and YouTubes, and well, you're probably
Discord.
already on our YouTubes, but our Twitch for sure. We have links.
Yep.
Discord, we have live stuff and it's fun.
Yep.
Sometimes when I edit, I just like open that up and show everybody what I'm doing. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
But yeah, go forth and do that stuff.
Yeah, please.
And
yeah, get vaccinated.
yeah,
Yep.
get vaccinated, you fucking degenerates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. For our society. Please do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For Donna's sake.
Well, she's a cat. I don't think she can get it.
It's good.
Could she? No, Donna, you can't.
Dog got it, so.
Yeah?
And shut.
I know dogs can get it. I don't know if cats can, though. It's an entirely new species. Or different species. Cats aren't really new.
Who knows?
I'm not a virologist, but I know
I
that the vaccine works and it's FDA approved,
It
so,
is. Yeah.
you know. Also, don't take horse dewormer, which is a thing I never thought I would have to tell people, but, you know, people's stupidity never ceases to amaze people.
Yeah.
So, don't do that. It's really bad for you. Like, legitimately, it's bad for you.
Yeah.
So,
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
unless you have a prescription, because there are human prescriptions, but don't take, like, horse amounts, because it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Again, never thought I would have to tell people this, you know, Americans.
Yeah. Thanks, Tucker. Tucker.
Tucker Carlson, you white supremacist piece of fucking shit. I hope you die. Let's end this video.
Alright. Do you want me to get up and...
Nah. Time for Pet Cemetery.
Oh, great.